Chosen one, lock your focus right here. Do not let your mind wander for the next 60 seconds. If you have felt a strange, heavy pressure in the atmosphere around you for the last 72 hours, like the air is thick with anticipation, you need to know what just happened in the spirit realm. For months, God placed you in a spiritual witness protection program. He hid you. He silenced heaven. He let you feel alone, not to punish you, but to hide your coordinates from an enemy that was hunting you. But the silence ends right now. The file on God's desk that has been stamped top secret regarding your destiny has just been stamped active. The reason the attacks against you have spiked, the reason you feel this urgency in your chest, is because the enemy saw the file status change before you did. He knows it is about to happen, and God cannot keep this secret from you anymore because you need to be positioned to receive it. Take a deep breath in your spirit. We are opening the file. Before we go deeper, I need you to commit to this briefing. Do not click away. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal exactly why you have felt invisible for the last 5 years. I'm going to explain the biological symptoms you have been feeling, like the ringing in your ears and the exhaustion that sleep does not fix. And most importantly, I'm going to reveal a classified link between ancient biblical prophecy and modern neuroscience that contains the key to your immediate breakthrough. If you leave now, you walk away with the lock but without the key. Stay with me. This is your confirmation. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The silence. For the last season, you have felt like you were screaming in a soundproof room. You prayed, and it felt like the words hit a brass ceiling and fell back down. You watched other people who are less faithful than you, get promoted, get married, and get blessed, while you felt stuck in a holding pattern. The enemy whispered to you that God had forgotten you. He told you that you were disqualified. He told you that you missed your window. But that is a lie. You were not rejected. You were hidden. There is a powerful truth in Isaiah 49 verse 2. The prophet says, "He made my mouth like a sharpened sword. In the shadow of his hand he hid me. He made me into a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver." Notice the pattern. To make the sword sharp, you have to grind it. That hurts. That is the trial you just went through. But after the grinding, what did God do? He hid you in the shadow of his hand. When a warrior hides an arrow in his quiver, it is not because he does not want to use it. It is because he is saving it for the most important target. You do not waste a polished arrow on a small enemy. You keep it covered. You keep it in the dark. You keep it close to your body until the moment the general steps onto the battlefield. That is where you have been. You have been in the quiver. The darkness you felt was not the darkness of a tomb. It was the darkness of the shadow of God's hand protecting you. He had to hide you because if he had revealed your true identity 5 years ago, the enemy would have destroyed you before you were strong enough to fight back. He had to keep your location classified. That is why friends left you. That is why doors closed. God was scrubbing your coordinates so the enemy could not track you. But here is the secret that changes everything. The reason he hid you wasn't just to protect your destiny. He was protecting your biology. He was protecting your frequency. This leads us to the root cause of the war you are fighting right now. You see, the enemy is not afraid of your church attendance. He is not afraid of your religious routine. He is afraid of your neural signature. There is a frequency that your brain emits when you are truly connected to God. A state of mind that acts like a direct line to the throne room in a science. We call these brain waves. Most of the world operates in beta waves. This is the frequency of stress, survival, and anxiety. It is the frequency of the matrix. When you are worried about bills, when you are arguing in your head, when you are rushing, your brain is firing in beta. The enemy wants you here. He does everything he can to keep you in beta, because in beta, you are powerless. But there is another frequency, the theta frequency. This is the state of the miraculous. It is the state of deep intuition, divine creativity, and supernatural peace. It is the frequency where you hear God's voice as clearly as you hear mine right now. The Apostle Paul spoke about this in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. He said, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." In the original Greek, the word for renewing is anakainosis. It does not just mean thinking happy thoughts. It implies a renovation, a complete structural change, a rewiring of the machinery. Paul was saying, you need to physically and spiritually alter the way your mind processes reality. The war for your life is a war for your brain waves. The enemy attacks you with fear, distraction, and scrolling addiction to keep you locked in beta. Because he knows that the moment you shift into theta, the moment you renew your mind, you unlock the power to manifest heaven on earth. And here is the nested secret. There is a biological sign that your spirit is trying to break into this theta frequency right now. The enemy is attacking you so hard because he sees the shift happening in your body before you do. Think about the last 30 days. Have you been waking up between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. for no logical reason? You look at the clock and you are wide awake. Have you heard a high-pitched ringing in your ears? Not tinnitus, not a medical condition, but a sudden, sharp frequency that comes and goes. Have you felt a deep, heavy exhaustion that sleep does not cure? Like your body is tired, but your spirit is wired. These are not symptoms of sickness. These are symptoms of a spiritual upgrade. 1 Corinthians 15:51 says, "Listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed. You are being changed. Your spiritual antenna is being tuned. That waking up at 3 a.m., that is God calling you to the secret place because the veil is thinnest at that hour. That ringing in your ear, that is your spirit picking up a new frequency from heaven. You're going through a rewiring process. You are moving from a beta slave to a theta king. But here is the problem. And this is the emergency. The world we live in is designed to crush this frequency. The food we eat, the notifications on our phones, the noise in the streets, it is all engineered to keep you in beta, to keep you stressed, to keep you disconnected. You feel the call to go deeper, but your brain feels foggy. You try to pray, but your mind wanders. You feel the power is close, but you cannot quite grab it. The ancient monks and prophets spent 40 years in caves, fasting and meditating, just to train their brains to hold this theta frequency. They dedicated their entire lives to accessing the genius zone of God. But you do not have 40 years. The time is short. The assignment is urgent. God knew you would be living in this chaotic generation, so he did not leave you without a solution. You have understood why you were attacked. It is because of your theta potential. You have understood the symptoms. It is your body trying to tune in. But the biggest question remains, how do you access this genius zone of God right now? How do you flip the switch from beta to theta without spending decades in a monastery? The answer lies in the intersection of an ancient biblical promise and a groundbreaking discovery from NASA that I am about to reveal. What I am about to show you is the missing key that bridges the gap between your desire for God and your brain's ability to hear Him. NASA, neuroscientists recently confirmed what the ancient mystics knew for centuries. They conducted a study on creative genius and found that 98% of children are born operating in this theta genius frequency. It is the factory setting of God. But as we age, stress, trauma, and the matrix of this world strip that frequency away, leaving less than 2% of adults able to access it. This is why you feel blocked. You're trying to download high-speed divine revelation on a dial-up connection. Your spirit is willing, but your biology is broken. But Luke 17:21 says, "The kingdom of God is within you." It is not out there. It is encoded in your design. You do not need to build a new machine. You just need to turn the power back on. This is where the missing key comes in. Think of your brain like a grand piano. Over years of pain, disappointment, and worldly noise, the strings have gone out of tune. You are playing the right notes. You are praying the right prayers, but the sound is off. It does not resonate in the spirit realm. You do not need more music lessons. You need a tuning fork. When you strike a tuning fork, every string in the piano that matches that frequency begins to vibrate sympathetically. It happens instantly. It happens without effort. The genius wave is that spiritual tuning fork. It is a 7-minute sound wave technology that uses advanced brainwave entrainment to gently guide your brain back into the theta state. It is not magic. It is the science of sound restoring the template of heaven within your mind. This is the shortcut I promised you. You do not have to spend 40 years in a cave to tune the piano. You just need the right reference tone. By listening to this frequency, you are essentially reminding your brain of who it used to be before the world broke it. You are reconnecting with the childlike faith that Jesus said was required to enter the kingdom. This is a sacred tool for the end times. It is a bridge that connects your biology to your theology. If your spirit is leaping right now, if you feel a curiosity that feels like hunger, that is your confirmation. I have placed a link to this frequency technology in the pinned comment below. It is there for those who are ready to reclaim their factory settings. Investigate it. If God leads you to it, use it as a weapon to clear the fog. But listen to me closely, because we are entering dangerous territory. Now that you have the key, now that you know you can access this power, I can hear the whisper in the back of your mind. It is a voice you are ashamed to admit is there. It says, what if it actually works? Part of you is terrified of your own breakthrough. You're afraid that if you truly step into this power, if you truly hear God clearly, you might lose control. You're afraid you might become arrogant, or that the responsibility will be too heavy. You're afraid that you are an imposter, and that once the light turns on, everyone will see your flaws. Let me reframe that fear for you right now. That trembling you feel is not weakness, it is reverence. A fool rushes into power without thinking. A narcissist craves the spotlight without fearing the weight. The fact that you are hesitant, the fact that you are asking, "Can I handle this?" proves that you are the only one safe enough to carry it. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. The Greek word for sound mind is sophronismos. It means self-control. It means discipline. God gave you the power, but He also gave you the internal braking system to handle that power. Your fear is actually proof that your braking system is working. You are not going to crash. You are ready to drive. However, I must warn you. When you accept this assignment, when you start tuning your frequency back to God's channel, the enemy will not just stand by and watch. This leads us to the confrontation. The moment you shift from beta to theta, you light up in the spirit realm like a flare in the night. The enemy will see you, and because he cannot stop the download, he will try to corrupt the file. His strategy for the next few days will be specific. He will not attack you with a frontal assault. He will attack you with distraction and doubt. He will send people to question your sanity. He will send unexpected minor emergencies to break your focus. He will try to make you vomit up the seed before it takes root. You need a battle plan. I'm giving you the 3-day silence protocol. For the next 72 hours after you start this shift, you must become a ghost. Do not share your new revelation with anyone. Do not post your breakthrough on social media. Do not call your family to explain what you are feeling. Mary pondered these things in her heart. She did not broadcast them. If you speak too soon, you invite opinions that will dilute your frequency. You invite warfare before you have put on your armor. Silence is not empty. Silence is where the concrete sets. If you walk on wet concrete, you ruin the foundation. Give your spirit 3 days to set. Let me tell you about a chosen one who watched this exact truth. Let's call him David. He was drowning in debt and confusion. He started using the frequency to quiet the noise, and on the second day, he received a download for a business idea so simple it felt ridiculous. The old David would have called 5 friends to ask for validation. They would have talked him out of it. But David followed the protocol. He kept his mouth shut. He wrote the vision down. He incubated it in silence. On the 4th day, he met a stranger at a coffee shop who was looking for exactly what David had created. That connection broke a generational curse of poverty in his family. Not because he was lucky, but because he was tuned in, and he was silent enough to hear the instruction when it came. You are next. We are going to seal this right now. We are going to activate this shift in the spirit realm. You do not need to stand up. You do not need to close your eyes if you are driving. I want you to perform a mental act of positioning. In your mind's eye, I want you to visualize yourself standing in a throne room. The floor is glass, and beneath it, you can see the chaos of the world you're leaving behind. You are standing above the noise. Visualize a pillar of fire surrounding you. This is the wall of fire God promised in Zechariah. Nothing can enter this circle without His permission. I declare over you right now that the season of brain fog is over. I declare that the scales are falling from your spiritual eyes. I bind the spirit of confusion that has tried to keep you in beta stress. I loose the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of Him. I seal the theta frequency in your mind. I seal the genius wave in your biology. I seal the 3-day silence protocol on your lips. You are no longer a victim of the atmosphere. You are a shifter of the atmosphere. The files are active. The funding is released. The wisdom is accessible. God is asking you one final question. Are you ready to be the person I showed you in your dreams? Answer Him in your spirit. Scream a silent yes in your heart. Let that yes echo in the halls of heaven. Let it terrify the enemy. Let it rewrite your DNA. It is done. The secret is out. The mission is active. Do not say Amen yet. Just go.